This is difficult. This is from Aaron. Andy, on a recent podcast you did with Max Olson, you mentioned how epic the weekend of October 12th would be for college football. My buddy and I are in a dilemma as one of our very good friends decided to get married on October 12th. To make matters worse, I'm an alum of Penn State. We play at USC, and my buddy is an alum of Ohio State. They play at Oregon. I'm a big fan of following the TV release dates, especially for the Big Ten, and feel pretty confident that Penn State game will kick off at 3:30 on CBS, and the Ohio State game will kick off at 7:30 on NBC. This is largely based on Brett McMurphy's tweet from a few weeks ago. Can you give me some ideas on how I can convince the bride and groom to put the games on during the reception? I'm trying to think of something that's better than just watching on my phone. I already looked at the venue for the wedding reception, and the only TV they have is where the groom gets ready. I obviously want to be a good friend, but also do not want to miss watching these incredible games. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Austin from Bay City, Michigan. Holy crap. Austin, what are we going to do with your friends? Like, first of all, we got to question these friends. Like, did either of them go to a large Big Ten school? Because if they did, what are they doing? Why are they doing this to you? Because they're not just doing it to you, they're doing it to a lot of their friends. This is a tough situation. So I'm glad you've already scouted out the venue. This is important because this sort of guides how I'm going to answer this question. The only TV is where the groom gets ready. Here is the problem. You can't fit that many people in that room. If everyone were to disappear, you're going to have a very angry bride, probably an angry groom, probably an angry family of the bride and groom. We don't know who's paying for this wedding, but whoever's paying for this wedding will be the most angry because the reception, you pay so much for a wedding reception. So much. And if everybody just disappears, his friends, Marley for president in the chat, his friends are mean because WTF. Seriously, like that weekend of all weekends. Why? And I realized they probably scheduled this wedding before we even knew that Oregon was going to be in the Big Ten. Alan in the chat. I acted like the baby needed to be walked around so I could watch the game. Dude, this is good. If you have a baby, probably some walks need to happen. I think you're going to have to watch on your phone, Austin. I think that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to watch on your phone. Christopher says, do not attend the wedding. Hard and fast rule. Chicken says, your conception and qualification of friendships are distorted. Yeah, look, I get it. As crazy as I am about college football, and of course, I'm not coming to your wedding if you schedule it on a college football Saturday because I have to work, but that applies to my own children, and they know that. You've got to go to this wedding. Sounds like these are fairly close friends. You got to watch it on your phone, but here's what you got to figure out. One, how's the cell service at the reception venue? Two, is there Wi-Fi if the cell service is bad? Because we're lucky to live in an age where we can watch games on our phones from pretty much anywhere. You know, there were people 10, 15 years ago who just had to sit in the reception and slowly die. So at least you have this. Listen, these people are terrible for scheduling their wedding on this day. So they should understand at least that they're terrible and give you a little grace and everybody else a little grace when they're at the reception looking down at their phones. Maybe bring an iPad, something that you could put in the middle of the table so people can watch. Peasy says, got to bring AirPods to drown at the wedding. Does anybody actually have a wedding singer anymore? Like a real Adam Sandler singing covers. That's a lot. It's a lot of money to plow into a cover band. I just don't know if I can handle that. But you're going to have to watch these games on your phone. They're going to have to get over it. They were the horrible people who scheduled the wedding on this day. And River, can you throw that graphic back up that says what games are October 12th? Because it's not just the two Big Ten games you mentioned. You've also got Florida, Tennessee, Ole Miss, LSU, Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas State, Colorado. These people are monsters. Absolute freaking monsters to have a wedding on this day. So yeah, you're going to have to tell them, listen, there are going to be a bunch of people watching the game on their phones or potentially on a tablet that is propped up by a flower centerpiece. Like, that's just going to happen. And you guys need to be okay with that because you're the monsters who scheduled your wedding on this day. That is the only way. Otherwise, you just can't go. Did you see? You see that list of games? No other way to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.